What have you been
think you're on
smoking?
something. We're live now, guys. So, all right, everybody, welcome to
Hi, kids.
welcome to the Mathew Randall after party. So far with us, we've got Bemilzebub, we've got Duke Bonanza, we've got Faithful Southerner, also known as Evans Murphy. We've got Diana, the lovely Lavender Lady. We've got Matthew, of course, Mathew Randall with us as well. We've got Terry from Down Under. And we've got the Bible Belt Atheist, who will probably remain quiet the entire time. And we've got Faye, the wonderful, beautiful Faye, with us as well, also known as Wonder Lady.
Oh, come on. I got BBA to talk last Sunday.
Yeah, I heard him talk today. So it's official. He actually does speak. Of course, I knew that because
sometimes if you really get the kid going, he doesn't shut up.
So he's not like Silent Bob or anything like that.
You know what? That could be a good nickname for him. Silent Bob.
Yeah, the bees are in there.
Yeah, I think I came up with my I came up with my own nickname, the Silent Bastard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that works.
The Silent Bastard. I'll be your Jay. Beers and doobs and fucking all that shit.
Hey, you know what?
I don't even know what the hell's going on here.
I had a cat. We had a cat named Silent Bob, and I accidentally killed him.
No.
What the? Wow.
Well, we were moving our fridge, and part of the reason why I accidentally killed him was because of his silence. I didn't know that I crushed him with moving the fridge. And all of a sudden, I had set the fridge down, and I didn't know he was there. And so I got halfway through the door, and my girlfriend goes, "Oh, my God, you killed Bob." I'm like, "What? What do you mean I killed Bob?" And so I hastily pulled the refrigerator through the door to set it down, and there he laid. And I'm like, "Oh, man. Fuck." So, yeah, and usually when I tell that story, people go, "Poor Bob."
Yeah.
Well, this stream took a dark turn.
Poor Bob, poor you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, after that, all I can say is, "You killed Bob, you bastard."
Yeah, I know. We actually had him cremated, and he's in a little urn right next to our other older cat that had died of old age.
I thought you were going to say on top of the fridge.
No. Actually, she was near the fridge when she died. So, yeah, she was near the fridge. So there's a lot of them. We're glad we got rid of that fridge.
It wasn't curiosity then.
Yeah. Curiosity killed the cat.
Curiosity, yeah. As it usually
Curiosity killed Bob.
Hey, Neil, you can do the interview all over again with Mathew now. He's a lot clearer.
Yeah, I missed the interview too. So if we could just go back and do it again live, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what kills me? You know what kills me about BBA?
If anybody has any questions for me, I'm open to answering any questions. I'm sure that we all probably think pretty much the same way. So if you have any specific questions, I'll answer them for you.
Well,
I have a question.
Oh, okay. You go first then.
Okay, if all whistles are wazzles and all dizzles are dozzles, what is the position of string quarks surrounding a black hole?
Just say 42.
I'm going to say pancake.
What the fuck was that?
Okay. Is that anything like the one I've heard years ago? What is it now? If you're driving down the middle of the street in your canoe and your left-right wheel falls off, how many pancakes does it take to fill the Empire State Building?
Right.
And the answer is ice cream has no bones.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they were up quarks or down quarks or top quarks.
Oh my! I was trying to decide when I went back to school whether I wanted to do physics or neuroscience, and I decided I was going to do neuroscience because the physics questions were really, really weird.
What's the fourth quark?
The what?
The fourth quark.
Up quarks, down quarks, strange quarks,
and charm quarks.
Charm quarks and strange quarks.
No,
Yeah.
that's when you're actually holding on to the stripper pole when you do your little twisting.
What about wine? What about wine ones?
I think I'll fit into this group quite nicely.
Oh yeah. It's not difficult.
Except for
dude.
Go ahead.
Being a-
The last
being a-
one we did, I ended up doing a Southern Baptist preacher in a North Bronx accent.
Okay, here we go. Up, down,
Oh, that's
strange,
right, yeah.
charm,
Oh
bottom,
no,
top.
are we doing that again?
Yeah, we're doing it again, my love.
We're
You know
doing
what I'm
it
saying?
again.
Doing it again.
I don't
dropping
know
it.
anything, honey.
That Jesus is a good guy, you know what I'm saying? He came over to my house. We didn't have any wine. He turned the water into wine. We had some wine. It was good.
Are you sure you're not just into him because of the glory holes?
I like the glory holes. Hey, look, are you king shaming me here? It's not my fault. I like the glory holes. He looks good on his knees.
Did you guys see?
He's not faithful, you know. He's always trying to come into people's hearts.
Yeah, he's coming in everybody's hearts. What am I going to do with
He's
it?
a little confused about the liquid stitches thing.
He does. He's like, yeah, you got a wound there. Let me just, come into it and we'll stick it together.
Yeah, well, you know.
I had a
It's a nice thing, but I don't think it's such a nice thing. I don't know if this the guy is really a good boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's got
he might be a very naughty boy.
He's got beautiful big chocolatey eyes. He's got beautiful big chocolatey eyes, and I like to stroke his face. So leave him alone.
And he's got a pretty mouth.
Why he's so soft, right?
Pretty mouth.
It's all the facials he does.
Look, he's hard in all the right places, okay? He's hard in all the right places, Faye.
I told a joke on Twitter that I don't know how some of my religious followers or like just regular normal people who aren't affiliated with religion, how they took it. And I don't remember who I told the joke to, but it was, what is the difference between Jesus and a hooker? And they go, what? I go, the look on their face when you're nailing them.
I approve.
I'm sure I was going to get like banned from Twitter for that one, but
who can yell anymore?
You wouldn't be the first
You're gonna
of
have
us.
to remind me of that particular joke because I enjoyed it a little bit too much.
I laugh my ass off when I first see, because I think I have a meme with that. It's one of those that the Spider-Man movies. I think it was the guy who plays the Spider-Man when he's not in his whatever the hell his name is.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, he was talking to that guy and that laugh that he does or whatever. But I don't know if you know what I'm talking. Maybe it's a different movie. They always make memes with that guy laughing or whatever.
Oh, you're talking about J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
He's got his head tilted back and he's
Yeah.
The newspaper editor or whatever the hell he is, right?
Yeah.
The editor of the it's not the Daily Bugle because that's Superman. The editor of
Superman.
Daily Planet. You're right. It
Daily
is
Planet. No, Daily Bugle. It's Daily Bugle.
Because Superman is the Daily Planet.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Get
yeah,
your
I think
comments right,
that's
buddy. What the fuck?
I got that from a meme that was created with that guy and the guy who plays Peter Parker. So I feel that I need to pass that joke on, even if it offends people. You still need to hear it because I think it's fucking hilarious. So I'm just twisted.
Neil, you should feature me real quick. I got that game up on my computer right now.
Hang on. Let's see
you gotta share that.
Hold on.
You gotta put that on. You gotta put that on share.
Ah, that's classic.
Thank you
Classic.
for the idea for this. I literally could not have done it without you.
I hate to break it to you.
Thank you so much.
I hate to break it to you. He can and does. He can and does use his comfort stitches. I've been there. I've seen it happen.
Did you ever see that one where?
I don't even want to know.
You ever see that one where It's a picture of a book that says Jesus came in me, and then you have Archer down below says phrasing.
Phrasing.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the one with the wall toggle, or a couple of them actually, where you've got is it Jesus or some other figure with the kids around him, and then the wall toggle is right where his dick would be.
Yeah. And the two kids down below, and the light is on, so it's up. And I'm like, that must be Catholic Church approved right there.
That wouldn't work in
Australia. I heard you mention you're ex-Catholic.
Recovering Catholic. Yeah,
I am so sorry. Yeah, I did. First few years of my life, I was actually an altar boy of all damn things. And you know what's amazing? I never was molested. I feel kind of left out.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you thought, well, why wasn't I attractive enough? Why wasn't that? What the hell?
Well, they wouldn't want anything to do with me now. I mean, number one, I'm too old. Number two, I'm a girl.
Well, you never know. There is that thing going around now where the the nuns were complaining about sexual abuse. So
yes.
So it's kind of like.
What about the nuns that are getting investigated for sexual abuse? Because they do it too.
As well.
They do it too.
Oh, I'm sure. And I figure if they would just let them marry like everybody else, because it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible where they can't marry.
Well, they used to.
Yes,
historically they used to, but the thing is, say a wealthy family would buy a position for their kid to be, priest or whatever, because that gives them a little pull, a little influence, plus the free education, and next thing you know, the property that the family may have given or the money, when that priest would die, he would leave the estate to his kids, and they may not have been too church friendly. Okay. So what do you call it? In order to break that cycle, they just said, okay, celibate.
Well, it is implied in the Bible as well.
People.
I don't know. Is it Evans? Because the one I remember is that Paul writing something about the churchman shall be the husband of one wife.
No. He
says no. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about. It would be better that you not have partners, but if you cannot help burning in your lust, then marry. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. He implies that that you would be better off. Yeah,
well, it's not prescriptive to a priesthood in the way that the Catholics approach it.
Yeah,
not
it's
in
just
context.
For people who want to be closer to God, which they then warp and say that the priest should be those that are closest to God, so they should be able to abstain from their burning desire.
Right, except that in context, there's no prescriptive nature to that to say that any person serving God should be celibate. Right. Like that's a twisting. It's actually not. Realistically, a good argument from Scripture at all.
Right. It just bothers me. They have to go against nature. Or they make the priest go against nature and all that. It's just natural to want to reproduce, or even to have. I mean, not
I
don't know about the reproducing part. The stuff that leads up to it. Well, not even in my case, because I'm lesbian.
I haven't wanted to nurture a parasite inside of me.
Oh yeah, the theists try to say that childbirth is like a miracle of God, and I'm like, oh yeah, another miracle happens for like the 2 millionth time this year. Like really, idiots.
Or this week.
Yeah,
we should look up. What's who's the Indian guy? Was it Russell Peters? Yeah. Russell Peters. It's the stand-up comedian. He does that great part where he's talking about he was with his wife who's Hispanic and he's Indian, and a lady walked up to her. She was pregnant. And she's like, "That's a miracle. You have a miracle inside of you." He's like, "Dude, we're like the most prolifically breeding two groups of people on the planet. We didn't even actually have sex. We just cuddled and she was pregnant."
It just kind of oozed. It just kind of oozed in a crevice, and then biology happened. And
biology.
A miracle. You're a miracle.
That's a miracle.
I mean,
That's a miracle.
You're
Over my
so blessed.
America.
You're just so
over my
blessed.
pumpkin spice.
Oh,
it takes a really.
I only have one beer left in here.
Oh no!
How are you ever going to survive?
Come on down. I've got a Heineken still in the fridge.
More
come on down. But
I have
as far as I'm concerned, it's yeah. There you go. There you go, sweetness. That's
What?
the 15 year.
What are you talking about?
Is that the 15 year or the 18 year?
Are we getting a new miracle?
That's the 15.
Oh, hold
15.
on.
Okay. Now, as far as that
15.
goes, in my view, it takes something really, really, really special to be a parent, and I didn't have it, and I knew it. So I got my tubes tied. Oh God, in what 85? And I knew I didn't have it, unlike a couple of people I could name who never ever should have been allowed to raise 2 kids, but they did.
Well, and the girlfriend and I, when we were originally trying to conceive children, we didn't understand how the neighborhood crackhead could have like 15 babies that she doesn't take care of, but 2 loving parents who actually want to have kids are having a really hard time, and it really bothered us. And then she decided to get help from a doctor, and I was kind of against it because I was afraid that some of them things would harm the baby. Like what the hell is that one stuff? Starts with a P. It's something that increases the hormone level or something like that. I forgot what the hell it was, but she was on a whole bunch of stuff to try to conceive, and then she started doing it naturally. And we have 2 kids, and we're pretty content with what we have. So,
okay. Whenever I see families, with like 4 or 5 kids, I just want to throw something. Because I'm the first thought that comes to my mind is there are already too fucking many people on this rock. I mean, we're flirting with 8 billion or something like that, or 8,000 million, right?
Yeah. It's a vagina. It's a vagina, not a fucking
not a cloud car. And unfortunately, there are a couple people in my so-called family who are like this. The one cousin had 4. Then there was an uncle and aunt who had 5. The mean.
I think you're still featuring me, man. I'm the only person on the stream in YouTube.
Where, when?
That was accidental. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to.
I mean, yeah, my beautiful face
is thing I probably tapped
nice and everything, but damn, dude.
I think originally people started having a lot of kids, like especially Latino families. Have you ever you see their kids ask their parents, "Mama, why you have so many children?" Porque look it, not all of you are smart. I had to ask them that they're gonna make some of them. You pay attention to the smartest one, and then you befriend them, cabrón, because they're gonna be giving you money.
That's hilarious. I had a guy I worked with named Julio. This is not connected, but I had a guy I worked with named Julio that gave me the best advice of my entire life. We were working. He was teaching me how to repair appliances, and I was working on this thing. And he used to tell me, he used to say, "Drew, it has to be easy. It has to be easy. If it's not easy, you're not doing it right."
See, they know the easiest and most efficient way to do things. Have you ever seen Mexicans building stuff? No, you have not, because they've already got it built and they're gone. So yeah, they know.
Okay.
They know the fastest, most the efficient way to do things, and then they're out of there. They're look on to the next thing. Everybody thinks that, oh, Mexicans are lazy. No, they're not. You just haven't seen them work because they're that fast. Yeah. Like Speedy Gonzalez was a negative stereotype on the Latino culture, and a lot of Latinos, including like George Lopez, thought that way. You're like, no, you haven't seen real Mexicans work. And I worked around a lot of them that were more full-blooded than I was, and them fuckers that work circles around most people. I can't believe it, but so. Well, now that I brought the conversation to a screeching halt.
So, in other words, the extortionist in chief should have contracted with the folks on the other side of the border to get that wall of his built, right?
Yeah, probably. They got the. If they would have said, but they probably would have, had them build it and they say, you stay on that side of the wall, so when it's done, you're on your side and we're on our side. So. Yeah, I always thought that they needed to build a wall along Canada just to keep the cold air from coming all the way.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
Go ahead.
Do you want to hear a funny story? A while back, we had fires here in the interior that were just like everywhere, and there was smoke in the city because they were starting to get very close to the city. Yeah. And people down in Washington State, there's this one little county down in Washington State that was fairly close to the border, just south of a place called Blaine. And they wanted everyone in the city. This is the mayor that said this to the city. Said, go inside and get all your fans and put them on the roofs of your house so we can blow the smoke back into Canada. I'm like, dude,
like that's gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you kidding me?
God, it sounds like a certain House member from Ohio. You, Matthew, will remember Dennis Kucinich.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Cleveland while he was mayor. Oh, yoy. That sounds like something that would have come out of him. Yeah, this is interesting that you mentioned Columbus. My sister lived down there in Gahanna.
Okay, I live in Columbus, Nebraska. I just happened to be in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, I thought when you mentioned Columbus, Ohio, that you were mentioning that you lived there. Okay.
No, but I do live in Columbus, Nebraska. That's all right. I actually got in a conversation with a guy about Columbus, Ohio. They have a Columbus women's pageant where, like, people from they send people from from Columbus, Georgia, Columbus, Mississippi, or wherever there's a Columbus, they send a contestant, and they have some kind of weird beauty pageant, the Columbus beauty pageant thing. So I thought that was kind of weird, but
okay, it's nicely weird though. Sort of like the Twin Convention in Twinsville, Ohio.
Yeah,
it's the real thing that happens there.
I heard about that.
My dad's a twin.
Cool.
Okay. I sometimes wonder how interesting it would be were I a twin. I have no idea because
he hates his twin. They tried to kill each other once with pitchforks.
Oh boy!
Holy cow!
They had a fight in the barn, and out came the pitchforks. And I think my dad. I think that's when he lost his toe.
Isn't that like a Cain and Abel thing almost?
So wait a minute. Losing toes runs in your family then, Faye?
No. It's when he perfected walking on his hands, though.
Okay.
I'm not kidding, because he had to go home on his hands.
Holy shit.
And his brother fed the toe to the cat.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Whenever you started that story,
this is one of those things where truth is stranger than fiction. Absolutely.
I'm telling you, that's one reason why I don't talk about these things, because I feel like no one believes me.
Whenever you said my dad was a twin, that is not where I expected the story to go.
What I would like to do, maybe I should do this. I've thought of it on and off. I've thought of looking for my biological family, because what would really, really be interesting would be if Biomom was a bull dyke bio dad was a cross-dresser, and I had 2 trans siblings. That would be perfect. I'd love every minute of it.
Yeah, and you know what? And I am accepting of all of anybody who's trans. I have trans friends. I have gay friends, and I never. When I was a theist, I always felt like a hypocrite because, I'd have these friends I loved and adored, but yet, on Facebook or like I explained earlier that, I would come down on these people for being the way they are. And so once I started thinking outside the religious box, I loved I love everybody. Now, that's the way I wanted it to be. I wanted to love everybody for who they were and stuff. I don't
That's
care.
That's the way you should,
gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if you're gay or if you like cows or whatever the hell.
Cows.
I actually do have a moral objection to bestiality.
Yeah,
Oh no,
cows you can
are
like
great.
the cows, but
Yeah.
there
I
needs
love
to be some
cows.
distance.
They taste
There needs to
good.
be some distance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It
I
depends
like
on how
cows.
you love the cows, Neil.
All right, fine.
Moo.
Judge me.
And I notice you got a cat over there.
That's Sylvia.
It's Sylvia. Yep.
Sylvia
She's
the
a
cat.
good kitty.
We
She's
had
cutie.
7. We had 7 cats at one point, and we considered
Lord.
ourselves. And
I
then
said,
Bob.
"Oh, good Lord."
Yeah, then Bob and Phoenix died, but no. We considered ourselves.
You had a cat named
rangers.
Phoenix?
Had.
Yeah. One of the girls that I dated way back in the day, we both had a cat named Phoenix as well.
That's awesome.
Hilarious.
Was it the tortoise shell or what?
Siamese.
Siamese. Oh, okay. Ours.
Cat, yeah.
I'll share a picture of you with Phoenix sitting near my voiceover equipment. It was one of the last few photos before she passed, where she was feeling well enough to jump up on things. But at one point, when we had 7 cats, we considered ourselves cat ranchers.
Oh no!
Yeah, so we'd be like,
Good luck.
So how many cats you have? Well, we got about 7 head of cat out at the cat ranch.
7 head.
7 head of cat. It's hard to herd them, though. Have you ever tried to herd cats?
Yes, I have.
Just get out the chicken and walk away. They'll follow you.
Yeah, if you have food, they'll follow you. They're like,
bag of temptations. Just shake that.
They love them things. They're like,
yeah, that's what I currently do. I herd cats. I also push wet rope.
Oh yay! There were, let me think about this. There were 12 kittens, and then the 4 adults. That was fun.
Wow, I bet it got expensive to feed all of them.
Yes, it did. Yeah, 2 of my girls had litters, and this was when I was living in a bombed-out shell of a house, so it was just fun maintaining myself as well as the damn cats. But we finally got everything straightened out and everything. But you find out that you don't have a cat. The cat has you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Somehow you become their bitch.
Yeah,
I mean, this one runs the place. Where the hell is she?
With that.
Have you
I think Hitchens said it best when he said, if you take a dog and you feed it, you care for it, and you give it everything it needs, it will assume that you are God. If you take a cat, you feed it, you give it everything it needs, it will assume that it is God.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty much it in a nutshell.
And you know what? I'm the odd enough person to where I look at my cats and wonder what names they've named me. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Food bowl.
Sucker.
Name for you.
Jackass.
Compared to them, we're all
slave.
bald.
Dick that locks me out in the cold. It's a bit of a longer name, but
the one that forgets to feed me when I want food. You'll feed me around my schedule, and I'm gonna bug you until you don't.
this one has not been out since I took her in, so I guess she kind of likes it here, wherever the hell she ended up.
Well, our cats are
raiding the fridge.
They hang out near the fridge.
Who? What? Where? When?
My cat does.
Our cats.
Oh, there you are, Sylvia.
She probably wants something.
Oh, she always
insects are
wants
cool
something.
in the comments. I like insects. We figured that out by your name. Insects are cool, by the way.
Yeah, this one has been all over me the last couple of months. I mean, more affectionate than usual. And then, well, I don't know. Maybe my diagnosis is the reason, or something like that. She thinks I need somebody to take care of me. Is that it?
Could be. You never know.
Hey guys, I'll be back in a few.
Yeah, no worries. I like the way Purple Rhymes with Orange explained dogs and cats. Dogs have owners. Cats have staff.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. There is all sorts of truth in that.
Well.
And Purple, how come you're not in the chat with us? Probably because
come on in, sweetie. Seriously, we don't have 10 yet.
We don't nowhere near 10. And insects are cool. I sent you a link in our DM messages. I don't know if you saw them. I haven't actually looked back to see if you saw them. Oh, hi, Sylvia.
I don't know if I've interacted with Insects Are Cool. Have I?
I haven't.
I don't know.
Tonight, so
I got a new subscriber. Huh? Atheist Tea Girl. Yeah.
Huh?
Interesting. Yeah, it happens. People actually like me a little bit.
I like you, Neil.
Atheist Tea Girl is very, very cool and has a channel, and I got to talk to her the other day, and I really
so you know her?
Atheist. Yeah, I like her a lot. She's cool.
Oh,
I don't know.
She's got the Wonder Lady a seal of approval.
I don't know. Maybe it's just my background, because I think of things that I suppose most people don't think of when I hear Tea Girl. But that's another story entirely.
Like trans girl?
Yeah, mainly because of my background. I am one.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I have one trans friend that comes over. She is awesome. She's
now you got another one.
Cool. I love trans people. I love everybody pretty much. So you know what? I even love theists, even though I don't agree with what they believe in or whatever. So, but I try to.
All right, I'm going to send Purple a link.
Hello.
Hello.
Adriana, how are you?
Hi.
Oh, you made it! Awesome. Oh, maybe not. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, let's get the connection established here.
Blank on me. Okay, hang on. I'm going to send Purple a link too because.
Yeah, let's get him in here. He's a big sweetie.
Oh, he's awesome. Kidding me?
I've been meaning to talk to him.
Yeah, I want to see, because I have not forgotten, Purple, about the suggestion of a midnight stream. So maybe that would help me get my head straightened out here.
Isn't it close to midnight where you are right now, Diana?
It's just after 11 p.m. here.
Right. This is only... What the fuck happened here? Oh my goodness! What the hell happened here?
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
What's going on?
Hi. Oh, come on.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. We're not gonna bite you.
Yeah, Duke left earlier.
Is that a honeybee?
No, that's a larvae, dragonfly larvae.
Okay, it's jet propelled, huh?
Yeah. So you can see more about insect nerdiness.
I actually have a huge book on butterflies and moths that got from an uncle of mine. It's fucking fantastic, man. I want to hold an Atlas moth in my hand.
Yeah, cool.
Is that one of the big ass ones that are like twice the size of your hand or whatever?
Yes.
The largest moths or something?
Yep.
What's
largest moth in the world, Atlas moth.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sick. It's not fucking Mothra, for crying out loud.
Be a lot cooler if it was.
Yes, I agree.
You got me interested in here. I've got to have a look at this. Okay, Atticus Atlas, huh? Okay, between 25 and 30 centimeters. Not bad, not bad.
They're big.
You people and your metrics.
They're
speaking all metric. What's wrong with you?
America.
This is America. We don't use the metric system. Roll Tide.
There's a comedian who said he was from New York or whatever, and he goes, "You see Tommy right over there? Tommy's a little boy that goes to school over there. Tommy carries a 9mm. I bet you he knows the metric system."
Okay.
Like, what? How in the hell do you equate something like that? So.
Okay, sorry about the momentary blast. I keep forgetting to switch from my speakers to the headphone when I come into one of these things.
Oops.
That's all right, man. We didn't. I didn't actually hear it, so it's all good. All right, hang on here. And now I'm ignoring the chat in the video, which is bad. I've been reamed down for that before. It's like, Neil, you got to stop ignoring the chat. What happened to Terry? He just sort of disappeared.
Maybe he had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I didn't notice
taking one hell of a long piss.
Okay, slap me down.
Damn. Nacho doesn't want to join us though. He says he can't. He says he was only going to be here for a short bit, but now he's lurking in.
Like Michael Myers, a bad Michael Myers film or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just being difficult.
Upside down atheist, yeah. Maybe all the blood's rushed to his head and he just can't think straight.
We tried to use the metric system, but Mirka couldn't handle it. I remember when I was down in Arizona years ago, driving the one section of interstate highway in the U.S. marked out in kilometers rather than miles between Phoenix and Tucson.
Didn't the dude that was carrying the metric system here, whenever it was kind of globalized, didn't he die on a boat on his way over here? And that's one reason that we kept the gosh, I'm trying to remember that story. Hold on.
I do
high school history.
Kathleen Madigan, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. She had said something about at one point the United States was supposed to switch over to metric. Like they made a giant announcement. Like all of us are switching to metric. Then like a week later, there's no test, no nothing, and everybody just kind of forgot about it. And I'm like,
I remember that. I think it was back around 76 or so. Was that?
Could have
been. Something like that. It didn't work though.
No, we like our fractions. We like our
fractions aren't metric. Well,
or whatever.
But, yeah, when I was in like fractions. 5th and 6th grade in the mid 70s, they told us we had to learn the metric system because within 10 years the whole country would be metric.
Whoops.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Missed it by this much.
And actually, they did replace most of the highway signs through the Midwest, so they had both the miles and the kilometers.
Yes, that I do know. I do remember that one.
Yep.
What really got me about which interstate highway is that? Was it 10? where the markings were only in kilometers. I have to look that one up again.
Yeah, I didn't know they'd done that.
It's just a one section.
Well, at one point, the mile markers didn't correspond with the exits. Like if you run around in like Pennsylvania or whatever, they'll have the current where the exits line up with the mile markers, but it'll also have a little sign down at the bottom of each sign that says like old exit number 9. So so they were like, I think they were numbered based on how many exits there were. Or
yes,
something
they
like
were.
Yeah, they were supposed to be.
The Ohio Turnpike, for example, was marked that way. They had exit numbers from from the Indiana border running up to the Pennsylvania border, if I remember correctly.
80, 90.
Well, the exits were numbered ascending from Indiana to Pennsylvania.
Right.
Now the miles are also ascending from, let's see, west to east and from south to north.
Right. So,
and it's Interstate 19 is the only continuous highway that lists distances in kilometers rather than in miles.
Yep.
And that's from Arizona highways.
Well, and the metric system was finally killed by Reagan because it was a cost-saving measure because he didn't want to pay to have the rest of the highway signs reprinted.
Yeah, okay.
It gets expensive.
And I had it wrong. I was thinking Phoenix to Tucson. Right. No, it's between Tucson and Nogales, where the markings are exclusively in kilometers. So between Tucson and the border, the southern border.
By the way, Purple, if you were in grade 6, 7 area, that makes us the same age. Because I also was in the grade 6 and 7 in the 70s as well. So.
Yeah, well, I'm 54 now. Usually until Lavender Lady shows up, I'm generally the oldest one in the room.
A child. Yeah.
Well, 52.
What I want at this point, I was just thinking about it yesterday. I want to hang on another year so at least I can outlive Hitchens.
Well, that's
Hitchens died at 62, and I'd like to hold on to 62. And then after that, all bets are off. I could go ahead and die.
Yeah, I think you need to be more ambitious. I think you're going to be with us for quite a while longer.
I'm unfamiliar with your diagnosis. What's going on?
Chronic kidney disease. I'm in stage 4.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just found out about it about 10 days ago.
Oh, man.
Well, I know the dialysis is a pain, but most places I've been familiar with, Medicaid not only covered the dialysis, but also covered transport. And I've known people who have gone on for close to a decade that way.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine's dad that...
I have a lot of thinking to do as far as that goes.
He was on dialysis for like 17 years. And recently passed away at mid-60s.
Was that all he did?
Yes, he was. I can't remember. Let's see. And he actually.
In other words, did he have time for anything else? I mean, that's.
He lived a fairly healthy life. I mean, it took up time, but it wasn't like the only thing that he did. And he actually ended up. It wasn't kidney failure that got him. He died of unrelated age issues. I can't remember what it was though. He was in his mid-60s. But he had kidney failure in the military and was honorably discharged.
Yeah. It depends on your level, and your diet, of course, has something to do with it. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a daily thing either. Some people only do it 2 or 3 times a week, and they're okay.
Yeah, I'm almost positive he did it 3 times a week.
That's what I hear mostly. Now, nobody's talking about dialysis yet. My glomerular filtration rate is at 24 right now, and I guess normal is considered what, about 95, something like that. But what's really weird is I have not experienced any symptoms. The only way anybody knew was via a blood test.
Huh. So you didn't have it. So what, did you just go to the doctor one day and they did, well, maybe we should test your blood for some things, and then that's how they discovered it? Or
yeah, it's Marty doing one of the routine blood tests. Marty is my doctor. And it came back with not nice numbers in the renal area, and repeated the test, and the numbers were even worse. So on Wednesday, I'm going to be having an abdominal scan to see if see if the kidneys fell out, and some more testing as far as that goes, some more blood testing, and I'll keep everybody informed as far as that goes. I'm just trying
We're going to do everything we can in the world to help you. You know that, right? We're there's already people talking about starting GoFundMe's and stuff like that for you. You know that, right?
Well,
and you know that if I could,
I don't know that I'm worth it, guys. Come on. I don't know that I'm worth it.
Come on now, don't talk like that.
Of course, fuck you. Of course, you're worth it.
Yeah.
Every life is worth it. Damn it.
We raised close to $1,500 to get Christy a new computer. You're worth at least that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like Purple said, you're worth at least a computer.
I know I've only known you for maybe half a year or a little bit longer, but Dana, you've become a fast friend of mine, and there's no fucking way I'm going to let you slip through my fingers. Not at this point. No fucking way. You're a beautiful human being, and I'm going to be in your corner every step of the way.
And with some of the problems,
if I could donate a kidney like I tried, but I would, but I can't.
Right, because you've got other priorities. Yeah, and those are perfectly understandable.
No, because I have issues. I have issues with each one. I tried to save a friend of mine's life by donating one of my kidneys, but unfortunately they denied me at the last step because I had an issue in each one. That's the only reason. And I even tried to appeal. I didn't know
that it was because of issues with them. Okay.
Tiny stone in one and a cyst in the other, and they said they didn't want to end up seeing me on the table.
Yeah, gotcha.
And now my mom also is in need of a donor too, right? So I'm trying to hunt down someone that's willing to donate for my mom.
I don't know that it's at that point with me yet, but I mean, it's weird. I'm not even feeling nauseous, and I guess that's one of the primary symptoms that something's wrong.
Also, you're sleeping.
Yeah, you're still worth saving.
I'm sleeping because I don't have the drive to do anything else. It really kicks it out of you, and I've got to get out of that. I know I have to get out of that.
We're going to help you because you and I have got to get together and share a fucking expensive bottle of scotch if it's allowed.
And I would rather do something like donate money to a GoFundMe for you instead of offering prayers. Since when is that?
Oh, please. Nobody ever offer any prayers for me. Please don't do that. No.
I don't want to.
I mean, it's just talking to yourself to make you feel like you've done something. I mean, I would rather you do nothing than do something to make yourself feel like you've done something while doing nothing. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
I just can't believe how often I see that. We're offering your prayers. Well, that's pretty meaningless. That just makes me think that, I want to not do something, but I want to feel better about myself not doing nothing. I'd rather donate money to it.
And I don't understand the people, I guess they had their own reasons, but the people who marshal prayer requests, like, I've got this problem, please pray for me, and all this other stuff. They don't think it's going to help, do they?
Some people are so into their religion, they think that Jesus heals or whatever. When I've never seen any faith healers or anything like that in hospitals. I got into kind of a friendly argument with a theist who says that God healed him from his some kind of cancer or something that he had. And I'm like, okay, your God helped you. He passed up a little kid dying of cancer in a hospital to save your life. Really? That doesn't
where
make
this
me
priorities. I mean, if there were a God doing shit like that, I would. Yeah, I would rather. Were there a God doing shit like that, I would rather the God concentrate on the kid with cancer rather than me. Because even before my diagnosis, I was saying, I've got more life behind me than ahead of me, but the kid's got all the life ahead of him.
Oh
Just
yeah,
take care of the kid,
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm going to be 62 in July. I mean, I've got a lot of miles on me, guys.
So
if I make it to July, but that's beside the point.
So
let me grab a cup of coffee here while we're at it. I'm just going to turn this camera. Wait a minute, what happened? It's interesting. I don't have my icon up anymore for some reason. I don't know why. Oh well, that's beside the point.
We can hear you. That's either way. Well, we'd rather see you too, but
well, as soon as I come back from the getting the cup of coffee here, because you don't want to look at an empty chair, do you?
And then she launched out of my arms.
Now the whole thing here too is I've got a lot to decide of what to do. Something that kind of got me thinking. I saw a little something posted in Twitter, and if this is what I think it is, it's somewhat sad, but at the same time, it sounds necessary because I saw what I believe is somebody's goodbye message in Twitter.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Someone I know?
Say again? Say again, please.
Yeah, whoever that was, it was really muddled.
Is this someone I know, Diana?
It might be. Do you know Squircifer?
Yes. Of course.
Yeah. Check that out. If I see it correctly, it was what is Squirce's account now? Because he was denied his Squircifer account.
Yeah, he's something else now. I just can't remember what it is. But the thing is, though, is he was diagnosed with a terminal cancer. So
yes, and that was mentioned in the post.
Right. So he's what? He's going around just saying goodbye to everybody. Is that what he's doing now?
That's what it appeared to be.
Yeah, he made a farewell post.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's right. You answered it as well, Evans. That's right.
I never saw that.
Oh, I thought I saw you answer it.
It was it's on his Caps Lock Atheist account, and it's basically just buy everybody the pain's too much to deal with.
Yep, that's the one I saw.
Are you kidding? Wow, fuck.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He said his wife found the feed in a bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shitty.
Something else I wanted to share that I forgot to add when I was talking to you initially during my interview was one of the reasons why I turned atheist was I would come home off the road and I'd kick back and watch TV and I would see these heartbreaking videos from these cancer places with all these cancer kids.
Oh man, those.
And I'm thinking, you know what? I used to pray that God would, take care of all the cancers in the world. But all of these kids pray to their God to please make me better. And a lot of them die. And if there really was a God, then, why wouldn't he help his, the little ones who are, supposed to carry on like his work or whatever. So that's one of the reasons why, God obviously isn't helping anybody. Either that, or maybe he does exist, and he's just a selfish asshole that doesn't want to help anybody. And to me, I've always kind of thought that our existence was almost like the aliens had a school science project, which was the Earth, and it wasn't going. Yeah, it wasn't going as well as they planned, and they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick this up on the shelf over here. We may check up on it, and I think they just forgot about us. So, I have kind of a cynical view on shit like that. So
that would be great, though. Were we a failed science project? That would be fantastic. I'd love that.
Well, actually, my view on the divine creation thing was always God never made the universe before. We're living in the beta test version.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I need some honey in here.
Yeah, I couldn't watch them video or watch the stuff on TV, or like when you see in the news, all these natural disasters where all them people were praying to their God, please don't let us die in this natural disaster, but yet thousands and thousands of people die in these disasters, and then you see something stupid like 2 pieces of steel in the shape of a cross, and then you see, that's God's work right there. I'm like, no, that's just 2 pieces of I-beam together. That ain't a sign of anything.
Whenever your religious symbol is 2 intersecting lines, you're bound to see it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then
let's start seeing the Star of David. Yeah. Then I'll start believing. It's a little more complex.
Then you leave it to the crazy Catholics who find a picture of Jesus in their toast or whatever. Idiots.
I have to think those are the people who want so badly to find some evidence after a disaster that God is still watching over them, that just anything will do.
I have to wonder, though, when you mention it, with the Catholics being into these miracles of the signs and the appearances and all this stuff, how many of the other religions have that to that extent? I'd really like to know. I mean, are the Catholics really off the rails with this stuff, or do they fall in line with the rest of the religions and denominations?
I think they're kind of over the top with it, because at least once a year you'll have that story of that lady who will come on the news and she'll go, you know what? I found Jesus in my freezer. I went to go get some more ice for my highball. There he was, right next to the Haagen-Dazs.
Have you heard the story that Aaron Ra has told about the woman who felt the tears of Jesus? She put her hands on this tree or something and said, "By the glory of God," and she felt it. And it turns out that there were wood lice in the tree, and they were actually pissing on her.
Yeah, I seen that. I laughed my ass off when I heard. I'm like, I almost wrecked my truck. I was laughing so hard. And I'm like, okay, I gotta stop listening. I'm gonna wreck this fucking truck, and I'm not gonna be able to explain to the insurance. I'm not going to be able to explain to the insurance company why I wrecked the truck. Well, I was listening to Aaron Ra tell a funny story. Who the hell is that? Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, there's something I'd really like. Hang on a second. Had to clear the throat there. I'd love to be able to make it down to Kentucky this year for the Ark Encounter protest. I've worked with Aaron, and I'd love to meet him face to face, because he is a big sweetie. I love that man, and I'd love it as well if Seth were down there, Seth Andrews, because I've been on his show 3 times already. And what amazed the heck out of me was the second time I was on, I mentioned my name. Oh, I remember you, and he actually did remember me by a couple of the things he had said immediately after saying, "I remember you," and it's like, "Wait a minute, you remember little old me? What the hell?" I don't know, or maybe it's just that I'm one of those people that you'd really like to forget, but just can't.
Sometimes I like to think of myself as the turd that won't flush sometimes. I just keep coming back.
Oh, for the love of Saint Gulick.
I got a big kick like that one time. I got a big kick like that one time that it was one of Cirrus's live streams that it's like I hadn't had a chance to listen to it like two weeks later. He had Jim from Atheist Edge and Bionic Dance on there, you know, and Jim mentioned, you know, just mentioned my name on there. And it's like, oh yeah, you know, everybody'd heard of me. And this was like before I'd ever posted my first video, but everybody knew who I was.
Huh.
Yeah.
So your reputation precedes you.
That would make you
everywhere.
Yeah, just from heckling people in the chat.
Like I told you, Neil, I'm surprised that I make comments on AIG stuff and Ken Ham stuff and all sorts of these theistic things, and I'm sure most of my followers are just like, dude, would you shut up?
I'm trying to think then if I've seen some of your responses, because I'm a regular responder to especially the Ark Encounter, but I'm also responding to Creation Museum or whatever the fuck that is, because I'm the one who's responding when he says, did God make this for this reason? Your God didn't make that. Your God didn't make anything. Your God doesn't exist.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm also in that same usually, or like they'll say, well, did God make this? Usually, I'll just reply with, no.
Okay. And what I've really liked, Susan, I take it then you've probably seen some of Strike's responses. I love his because they're usually ended with jackass.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I like the golfer, the guy from that Adam Sandler movie, when the golfing one where he yells, jackass.
Okay.
Oh, that's what's his name from SCTV?
Yeah.
He played the Count. Fuck, what's his name? It's gonna kill me now. I have
Was
to look
that
it up.
Eugene Levy?
Not Eugene Levy. The tall guy.
The Count. Okay, would that be like?
Yeah, he played the Count.
Six, atheist heckles. Yeah, I don't know. No, that's bad. Really bad.
Joe Flaherty.
Yeah.
That name sounds kind of familiar.
Yep, he was part of that same crew.
Yeah, Joe Flaherty. This guy.
Yeah. So whenever I see somebody end some kind of comment with like jackass, that's what I think from that Adam
Okay.
Sandler.
Yeah, I see that the BBA had to take off. And yeah, just as everybody was predicting, he took off after saying next to nothing. Oh, okay.
That's the guy. Yeah, Joe Flaherty. Right there.
Move.
Yep.
Oh, I couldn't see it very well. That's all right, though. I know who I'm talking about.
Oh, it's all right. It's kind of shitty. Kind of a shitty picture, but there you go. There's that kind of thing there right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that was paid by Shooter McGavin to distract Adam Sandler so he wouldn't make any of his putts. But yeah, I just every time I see somebody use the word jackass, that jackass tone comes into my head.
No, the thing I don't know if Faye went away, darn it. I don't know, and maybe I give myself too much credit because I used to end a lot of my comments on movie night with jackass, and I don't know if Cy picked it up from me or not, because I hadn't been looking that close. Yeah, I don't know if you know about movie night. If you're ever like really wanting to do something and you don't care what it is, just movie night is how does Cy describe it? It's a drinking show with a science problem. There you go. Where you go through the videos from like the flat earthers and the creationists and all this other stuff. And as soon as you see something egregiously wrong, you yell, "Drink!" And while everybody's imbibing their favorite beverage, you explain why you called drink. Oh, let's see. We can go through a 40-minute video in about 7.5 hours.
Doorknob had just said he always ends movie night with, "I gotta pee." So yes, a lot of drinking.
Doorknob head's one of the regulars in the audience. Oh, Faye's back! Yay! Yay! You did not go away permanently.
Technical difficulties.
Ah, that's all right. So when am I going to be back on your channel, Faye?
Hopefully soon.
Well, just
let
me know when you want me, man. I'm there. I love talking with you, so anytime you want, man.
Okay, good.
Yay! Yay!
Yay!
I've been pretty fortunate. I've been recently on the what are they? The thought prophets or some shit like that, or
I don't know.
And I've been on a few channels lately, so it's been pretty cool actually to be able to be interviewed by somebody else. Oh, also Leah, Gray Skeptic Mac, and Christy interviewed me recently for my humanist.
Yep, was watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this rather unknown program that you were on recently. What the hell is it called? Something about coffee with lavender?
Coffee with lavender. Which was
Snarky's
so much fun, Diane.
Oh, thank you. Mrs. Snarky's going to be on tomorrow. It's still tomorrow. We got a half hour left in today.
It's Iowan's wife, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Iowan's wife.
Yeah, but if you're going to get up that early on a Sunday morning, what's the point of being an atheist?
Yeah, who are you trying to impress?
Well, hey, I moved it to noon at the suggestion of a couple of people. Primarily Kate's suggestion, primarily Bionic Dance's suggestion, because it used to be at 9 a.m. And it's like, you screwy person, you're going to have me get up at 6 a.m. to watch this damn program? And it's like, oh, I'm impressed that she actually wants to watch, for one. Well, there's a whole history going on there. Just watch the shows that involve me and her, and you'll get the idea.
Well, you know what sucks? You know what sucks about having kids that are in a Catholic school is that I still have to go to Mass. And to be an atheist,
wait a minute. You have to go to Mass in order that the kids remain in Catholic school.
Yeah, because we have to show that we're still part of the church, even though we don't really give a shit. So, so it's weird to be an atheist that can point out all the bullshit that is being spewed from the priest.
Okay, I've got a question, and it's an honest question.
Okay.
Oh man, I miss those. I gave up smoking 6 months ago, and my trademark was cigars.
I quit smoking cigarettes and for almost a year, and then I got stressed out and I started smoking these. I still can't stand the smell of cigarettes, but I love these. These are awesome.
Oh, please. So many times I've wanted to reach for one and light it up, but But okay, with the kids in Catholic school, an honest question is, why?
Because we like this. Well, not only do we like the small class sizes, but my mother-in-law is paying for them for the tuition, basically.
Yeah, that was going to be one of the things with. I mean, it's not exactly cheap to send a kid to Catholic school anymore.
You know, and I think it's what is it? $4,000 for both of our kids for the year, something like that.
Oh, really? That sounds rather cheap to me. I'm trying to remember what the slimy bastards paid to send my sister to Catholic school. When I was in Catholic school, they had not yet instituted tuition, but when she was there, they had. And I cannot remember offhand what they charged. It wasn't cheap.
No, and I think, well, part of it, the reason why we get off so cheap sometimes is because the parishioners also, they like the mass that we usually go to is Saturday night, and they got rid of the Saturday night mass. So that goes for all the fundraising for equipment and for part of the tuition, and that's all going away. So we think that here pretty soon, since they're losing their funding, that they're going to close down the school. So they're going to have to go to normal public school, which doesn't bother me that much. We're going to miss the small class sizes, but you know.
Yeah, I was going to ask, when you're looking at the education your kids are getting, do you see it as better than they would get in the local public schools, or how does that work?
I don't think it's better, but what's nice is that the smaller classes allow for a little more one-on-one time instead of having 30 or 40 students where the teacher has to deal with all these kids. There's like I think 15 or 20 in the class, so they get a little bit, they get a little bit more individual time. If they are slow on something or they don't understand something, they can go, look, I don't understand this, and the teacher can help them a little faster. So,
man, I tell you, you say all these kids and 30 in the same sentence. We had 50 on average per class when I was in. This was in the mid '60s.
Oh, okay.
The whole baby boom thing. I'm a boomer. Okay, I will say that unapologetically. By the numbers, I'm a boomer. Certainly not by my political or social stances, but
right.
Gen Xer all day.
Okay. And the damn thing is, the people who catch my eye are the Gen Xers and that sort of thing. And unfortunately, Well, like, for example, 2,400 miles, that's a problem.
Neil is pretty.
I get to be a millennial. Everything's my fault.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I kind of get your pain there, though, buddy. Like, I can't discuss religion with my child at all because of our divorce agreement. So my ex-wife is a hardcore evangelical Christian. And I am, of course, an anti-theist, and I'm not allowed to discuss religion at all with her.
That is really that's really sucky as far as I'm concerned. Because you can't even talk to the kid, or at least on that subject.
Well, at the same time, I never talked about religion with my son either. I'm less interested in teaching my kids what to think as I am teaching them how to think.
Absolutely.
So I can do that without touching religion. I can literally just explain to my daughter skepticism and looking for the right answers and not accepting things just because people say so without ever touching on Jesus. And so as much as she thinks that she got a trump card on me, she didn't, because I remember last summer, there's a song called Till by Tony Bennett, and I sing it to my daughter. And one of the lines from that is, until this young earth is old. But she said to me, I don't know why people call it young earth. I asked Alexa, and Alexa said the earth is 5.5 billion years old, or whatever it is. And I was like, well, there you go. Technology is going to take care of it for me.
So a skeptical child is skeptical then.
Yeah, the only thing that saddens me, for example, if she were to be inquisitive and wanted to ask, "Hey, Dad, why did you give this up?" And you can't say a thing to her.
Well, she doesn't know that I gave it up, and we don't talk about it.
Well, Nat, I don't discuss any of my atheism with my girls, and even if they go to a regular public school, I'm not going to force my atheism on my kids. What I'm going to, if they have any, if eventually it's going to come up, and I'm just going to tell them, look, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in any of that, and I'm not going to tell you what to believe. You need to figure that out. You can worship or do whatever it is that you think you have to do. If you have any questions on my position, I will be more than happy to explain to you why I don't believe, and then you can make your own decisions. That's how I'm going to handle it.
I didn't have to do any of that with my son. Like, for instance, my son, when we moved to Florida, he didn't have any friends when we first got here, and he had been a Christian. And I just asked him, "Hey, buddy, would you like to go to church or something? Do you want to do any of those kind of things?" And he's like, "No, I don't believe in any of that crap. I'm like you are."
Cool.
And having never talked to him about it, he was just like, "No, I'm like you, Dad. No. Like, why am I trying to do this thing with this character that doesn't ever answer me?" And I was like, "Exactly. Fair enough, dude. We're on the same page." And so I don't think it's as hard. Like, I think, I take the Hitchens approach. Like, Hitchens straight up said he never talked to his kids about religion, ever. He taught them how to think, not what to think, and they drew their own conclusions and came to their own conclusions. And so, why would I do anything any different? Like, there's somebody I don't know here. Who is Adriana? Am I saying your name right?
Down boy.
You're fine. I'm new here.
Well, what's your name, love?
Adriana.
I said it right. Good. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You'll have to forgive me in advance. I say inappropriate things.
Well, Duke he does. But Duke, she has a channel called Insects Are Cool.
Yeah.
And
Insects Are Cool.
Because yeah.
I'm looking it up right now.
Etymology.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if I've subscribed to that or not.
Okay, thank you for making that connection, because I did just subscribe to her when this started. I didn't realize that.
No, I have not subscribed to you. Okay, you now have 10 subscribers.
Thank you.
Yay!
Oh, we'll get you up there, Adriana. We'll get you up there. I'll spread.
Okay, yeah. Now you have 11.
Thank you.
It'll take you no time at all to surpass me. I'll tell you.
Also, as soon as I get out of this match.
Wow! Explaining Bombardier evolution. Okay.
Yeah. That's actually really good.
I have to watch that one. I mean, not right now, but.
Oh, and Ken Ham's going to have a problem with something like that.
Oh, fuck Ken Ham.
I would tell Ken Ham to kiss my arse, but I don't want his lips that close to me.
Yeah. I want his lips on my arse. I want it. I don't even give a fuck. I want Ken Ham to kiss me on my asshole. That fucking cunt. Ken Ham is a jerk. Yeah. Dean Esme is a fucking maggot. Throwing it out there.
There's already a Apologia video that Ken Ham was talking about the Bombardier beetle and how this is proof of, divine creation. And Apologia debunking the whole thing.
Dude, did you see, that's like fucking, what's the other guy? Kent Hovind talking about broccoli is the proof that there's no evolution. We were like, dude, broccoli is we created broccoli.
Yeah.
Through forced evolution, you fucking idiot. Like,
broccoli is a brassica. I mean, the brassica has to be, brassica is the genus I know, but it has to be the, that particular species of that has to be the one with the most varieties I've ever seen. I mean, you're talking about broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, kohlrabi, turnips, No, parsnips are related to carrots. God, what else? Oh, kale. Don't forget kale. And I love every one of them, by the way.
Well, let's also, like, part of that family is also the mustards. So cabbage and mustard are in the same family.
I thought the mustards were in like the nightshade family or something like that.
No, they're in the cabbage family.
No, that's carrots in the nightshade family, isn't it?
Tomatoes.
Mustards are in the Brassicaceae family.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm also a plant biologist.
We have an expert.
Uh-oh.
I've actually studied both insects and plants, so.
We have an expert in the room. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
right. That's right.
I'm all for knowing
what is
new.
Flex your muscles, love. Flex them. It's all good.
Brassica oleracea is the plant species that includes the cultivars cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, collard greens.
Carrots are not a nightshade.
They're not. Okay.
Every time I hear the word nightshade, I think of what do you call it there? Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes. Yes.
The deadly nightshade.
Curiosity killed the cat, you know. I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm all up for
Apparently, tomatoes are part of the nightshade family.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was tomatoes.
I just said that.
A Jen with one N. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Eggplant.
Attentive, aren't I?
Eggplant.
That one I knew.
Potatoes.
Actually, the word tomato.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank
is
you.
Italian, and it means poison apple.
Well, eggplants are part of the eggplants are part of the penis genus as well, right?
Well, yeah, haven't you seen them girls on Twitter that say no dick pics and then there's an eggplant emoji?
Yes, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's a little
dick pics. I've gotten a few dick pics myself, unsolicited.
Oh, have you?
Oh God, yes.
Oh shit.
I used to sing in a gay choir. I was very popular with the tenors and the baritones.
Alrighty.
And I used to get Facebook messages. I was married at the time. So it was like one of those things where it was like, why are you sending this to me? Like I don't understand. Like, I'm married. What part of I'm not going to touch your penis don't you get?
The one that got me.
What makes you... Go ahead.
I used to get dick pics from other trans women. It's like, wait a minute here.
Well, here's the funny thing about unsolicited dick pics, right? This is the thing I always go through, where it's like, okay, I was not interested in you at all, but now that I've seen your penis, I'm totally in love, and I can't wait to suck it. That's never fucking happened. Ever. That's never been the fucking case. Put it away. If they didn't ask for it, don't fucking send it. Nobody wants to see a penis. And if I do want to see a penis, I've got Google, you fucking cunt.
You've also got a mirror.
Yeah. And a mirror. Thank you.
Exactly.
Well,
I kind of stand there and stare at your own penis, so it's kind of weird.
There are some.
Hey, don't kink shame.
Quite a nice penis.
Dude, I constantly compliment my penis, dude. He needs the re-encouragement. Come on.
I don't know, maybe some encouragement.
How do our conversations always end up in the realm of penises? Like, what the hell?
Duke shows up. That's what
It's
does
because
it.
of me. It's my fault. I have penis obsession. I have penis obsession syndrome.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Does that go along with the whole I say inappropriate things?
Yes. Yes. You don't even understand how deeply I say inappropriate things. I say inappropriate things that make other people here who say inappropriate things cringe. So,
so you're like
I take it to a whole nother level. Yes, I am the king of inappropriate comments.
Indeed, you are. This is why we love you.
I love.
Everybody has their niche around here.
Yeah.
And I love being inappropriate. That's just right up my alley. So I'm not offended by anything.
Well, there's a time when you can be inappropriate amongst a group of people that you know aren't going to give a crap, but then there's a time when you just got to kind of bite your tongue, especially around some of my relatives or something.
Well, even like where I work, when I first got hired on where I'm at, driving for this company, my dispatcher, she's an awesome chick, by the way. Her and like one of the head of operations was talking about one of the drivers that he has a really large gut, and she's like, I wonder how he has sex. And I kind of looked at her like, whoa, something like that would get me sent to HR. And she goes, oh yeah, we don't have HR around here, so we don't worry about that shit. We all say inappropriate shit. We just don't give a shit. I'm like, cool, I'll fit in good then, because I'm just like I always make. And actually, one time I said something inappropriate about like I used to haul pigs, and I said something that I admit was in bad taste about an employee, a female employee that worked at one of the barns. And that caused a stir with their HR, because we were contracted on to haul pigs for them. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of used to, not being able to have normal, inappropriate conversations, I guess, if you want to consider that normal or whatnot. So,
they happen constantly, so. Wow. I mean, there's inappropriate that's humorous, and then there's inappropriate that's just downright inappropriate. So I guess you gotta figure out what's what, I suppose.
Yeah, and there's some
people are going to be affected by these things on different levels, right? So.
Well, yeah, and there's stuff that's inappropriate that, like, it seems like if you're talking about, let's say, for instance, pedophilia, it seems like the only ones that can make that funny and have a audience laugh are comedians. And
yeah, because people go into those things knowing that they're, that it's all just comedic, a display of comedic, right? So, I mean, I was in a restaurant one time back when you could actually still smoke in restaurants. And I had still, I think at the time, considered myself Jewish, but fairly secular. And one guy kind of walked around who knew me, but wasn't one of my friends, we'll say, kind of pointed at the ashtray and said, are any of your relatives in there? And I fucking laid him out on the floor right there. I knocked his ass out right there.
Well, that's kind of
fucked up. To me, that's kind of, yeah. That's where inappropriate can be. Like, you gotta pick your audience, I suppose. And he picked the wrong audience for that joke.
Yeah, you do.
I fucking stood up and knocked his ass out. Right there.
I just can't imagine making a comment like that, especially knowing your background.
And a funny thing, well, not funny, but the truth of the matter is, 4 of my family members were killed in the Holocaust. So.
Oh man!
With comedy though, there's a different expectation, right? So like, if you have a comedian, like for instance, with like Sarah Silverman, where she takes on like a racist character.
Yeah,
she's not racist. It's a satire of the character. It's like watching it's like watching All in the Family. Nobody on the show that acted as those characters were racist. It's a satire of a racist character. It's supposed to show the absurdity of the racist character. So it's the same thing with pedophilia. If you're making jokes as a stand-up comedian about pedophilia, you're not endorsing pedophilia. You're showing pedophilia to be disgusting, and you're making a satire of it to show that. You know what I mean? Right. Like, so there's a whole different.
Do go too far.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like, here's an example. And it's a man telling this joke, and he says, I'm in my apartment, I'm having sex, and there's a knock on the door. And I go and I answer the door. It's a neighbor complaining about the noise. So I tell him, okay, we'll quiet it down. He goes back to what he was doing and says, okay, honey, you got to keep this down. You don't want to turn this rape into a murder.
Oh, see, that's
That's to me, that's going too far.
That's too far. But at the same time, it's still subjective. It's up to the audience. But yeah, I wouldn't find that joke to be funny.
I wouldn't want to be a woman in that audience.
That's to me, that's not funny.
There's always
I don't find that to be humorous.
Like I love dark humor. Don't get me wrong, but there's a line. You know, like one of my favorite comedians is Frankie Boyle, and he's dark as fuck, and so is Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr is amazing.
He's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites, but there is a line, and neither of them cross it.
No,
right, but once again, though, it's because of the satirical nature of what they're saying. You know what I mean? It's because they're not approaching it from a serious standpoint. They're actually making the awful thing absurd to make it funny.
Yeah, I think a lot of them still do what they do so that people actually stop and think about these sorts of things, even though there's a humorous edge to it. They stop and they think about these things and just how horrific they actually are, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Aside.
That's what I'm
saying.
Carlin had a way of doing that. I mean, he could get you to laugh about something, but you were thinking about it at the same time, and maybe the laughing at it was what made you think about it. Because
Stephen King can do that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're speaking
Stephen
of the
King
author?
does that. Yeah, Stephen King can do that. He can have you one moment laughing your ass off and the next moment horrified out of your mind. He has that ability to get in your head and make it something funny and then make it totally inappropriate and then make it totally fucking just crawl out of your skin horrific.
I found it strange when I actually liked his Dark Tower series, because I had tried to read King previous to that and couldn't get past what I considered the inappropriate sex scenes. I mean, they did nothing for the plot or anything like that. They seemed to be just thrown in there for whatever reason. I mean, had they belonged there, okay, I could have seen it, but they were adding nothing or anything like that.
King is a discovery writer, though. That's something I've found with discovery writers is the thrown in nature of some of their content. And like King is probably the best at it, but he's not huge on revisions.
Not only that, it was the weird sex that was thrown in there. Well, even in the Dark Tower series, there was that one description of the incestuous affair between a guy and his daughter that took up, I don't know, maybe a half a page or some shit like that. And I'm thinking, what is this doing in here?
Which book?
I cannot remember if it was the first or the second. I think it was the first.
Yeah, the first book was clumsy. Really and truly, I don't think the Dark Tower really took off until the second book, Drawing of the Three, which I think is the best out of the entire series.
Mm-hmm. I'll grant you. Well, I haven't read them all, so I couldn't tell you about all of them. But
I devoured them.
I had read 3 of them, and then I was waiting for number 4, and like 20 years later, I find out that they've all been written and released already. And it's like, okay, maybe I'll have to find the money for them and buy them.
If you want to see the most inappropriate but hilarious sex scenes, you got to watch Team America: World Police.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Team America: World Police? What? America! Fuck yeah! Come on, no. It's Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the guys that do South Park, and the sex scene between the marionette people. You never saw that? Oh my goodness, dude!
I don't get out much. No, I don't get to watch too much TV.
Well, I don't even own a television.
It was a movie,
so
you can rent the damn thing. It was pretty funny.
That was the darn thing. Motion pictures are so expensive. I haven't been to a motion picture theater in well over 20 years.
Wow. That's why you still call them motion pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, I have not seen a first run in a very, very long time.
Wow. I go all the time.
Oh, the last time we were in a theater, I think we saw the latest Saw movie. I love.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but and now just to see that in the theater was kick ass. And I don't.
Yeah, not my kind of thing.
Yeah, my girlfriend.
I went and saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was the last one I saw.
It's freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the movie was
fucking
awesome.
One of the best movies ever.
Yeah, it's definitely the best Marvel movie they've produced in a very long time.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly,
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, me and you both.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Alita as well.
Yes.
I read the comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend
it's a manga.
It's a manga. Yeah, whatever. Japanese comics.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say my friend came here last year and we went to the movies, and I kind of wish we didn't. I didn't enjoy it.
Why? Well, what movie did you see?
Jurassic Park.
Oh well, there you go.
Hey, I didn't get to pick.
Well, the last time
every time I go to the movies, it's just the same old shit with the same old people. Like,
I know,
I'm not interested.
Hollywood can't come up. Go ahead.
Nope.
I'd rather stay at home and watch my Korean soap operas.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Yep. Well,
they're more
I don't know
enjoyable.
if I'm getting the right impression, but it impresses me that most of what's out there are remakes of remakes.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that
and even if the plot is lousy and blah blah blah, you hear people go, "Well, yeah, the story sucked, but the special effects were really good. I love it." And it's like, oh, okay, pretty pictures, and that's all you need. No plot work necessary.
A
lot of the great movies are not getting released in the theaters; they're getting released straight to video or straight to stream. You know what I mean? There's good movies out there. You just have to dig for them. Like I thought Swiss Army Man was a great video.
I don't know anything about Swiss Army Man.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. It's very surreal. It's very out there. It's Daniel Radcliffe. I can't think of the kid's name, but he played the preacher in There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
But it's just a fantastic photography. Is good. It just didn't get like props. But people don't go to theaters for like fucking.
Did you see Doorknob Head's comment about Korean soap operas?
No, I haven't. Let's take a look.
I'm picturing lots of shouting.
Okay.
Which is very true.
Oh, man,
it's true, man. If you've ever been to a Korean restaurant, that's how they talk to each other. They yell at each other. It's hilarious.
It sounds like they're yelling or whatever. And that even Chinese restaurants I've been to.
Well, that's just the way they do it, man. It's everywhere I've been where they have that. That's just, and I'm just like, holy crap, these guys are loud. Fuck.
They're intense.
But that's their normative,
like,
right?
Sounds like the people who raised me, a bunch of Slovaks and Polacks. And it was like standing next to a jet engine, just a whisper between these two people.
Yeah,
it's like, God damn, man.
So they don't know what the words inside voice means, basically.
Yeah, my father's side is Polish, and he said that the whole point of it is there was no point in talking in any voice that they couldn't hear you on the North 40.
Yeah, right.
And that's when they're sober. So, get them drinking.
Okay. I have to step away for a bit. My companion has this weird idea that I'm supposed to eat every single day.
Weird.
It might be a good idea.
If there's bacon involved, get your ass over there.
Oh, no shit.
Okay, well, the bacon bourbon brownies, I might do something like that. But I might actually have to try to bake those. What I have to do is I have to do I film the taste testing of the lentil soup I made 2 weeks ago and have eaten almost all of, and actually resurrect the transgendered chef, my cooking channel, and then
Cool.
I can use that as an excuse to do the bourbon bacon brownies, you know.
There you go.
There you go. Perfect. Anyways, guys, I do have to end this because I'm going to go head downstairs to my friend's place now that all the chicken has been made. He just sent me a text saying that all their fried chicken's been made up. So I'm going to go down there and eat some food.
Oh, boy. Yum, yum.
Yeah,
I know, but
I've been off food for a couple of days.
I'm going to have to go to bed.
A couple of days. What?
I've been eating too damn much lately. I've got to lose weight. That's the problem. I need to drop about 50 because when it becomes uncomfortable to bend over to tie your own shoes, you know there's a problem.
Yeah.
Especially if you get to the point
to tie your own shoes and your cat hops onto your back and says, "I'm gonna be surfing now."
Still hasn't tried that one yet.
And it's like you walk over everywhere, hunched, and try to get something done with cat on your back, and you slowly stand up until they're like perched on your shoulder like a twisted little cat.
They work their way up there.
You know, it's like we are not doing a scene from the Pirates of the Caribbean. Get down.
You got your very own catechete or something.
Yeah, catechete. I like it.
Yeah, except for you know, instead of Treasure Island, and she thinks she's playing the role of Captain Flynn. I'm like, get down.
Yeah, I gotta get up early and go over to the convention center and load my 3 loads. So I'm gonna hit the sack after this. So.
And then, of course, I've got a show to do tomorrow, so I've got to get to bed.
Right.
Yeah, you got a thing tomorrow. It's all tuned
I
into
just don't feel
when
good.
I get up.
Yeah, Mrs.
What's the matter, Faye?
Be on.
Problems, just problems. I haven't been feeling good
well, I hope you
at
feel
all
better
lately. Thank you.
Well, I hope that changes for you.
Me
Maybe
too.
if I pop on your channel and make you laugh a little, maybe.
Yeah, we always make me laugh, so it's good. But
good. That's good.
You go eat, and I'm going to find myself, I don't know, I think a book, and then I'm going to go to bed.
There you go. Yeah, I'm going to go eat some chicken, drink some more beer, and then probably hit the hay myself so I can be up in time for Diana's stream tomorrow, the coffee chats.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Hopefully I'll do a decent job. I haven't prepared for this one, damn it.
Fuck, fly off the cuff, I do. It works for me.
Yeah, that's basically what I'll end up doing, and it's just okay. Let's see what Diana can do here today. You know. Well, at least I've got a good person to do that with. No, the preparation I've done today would not have worked last week. Yeah, because the trying to get Bible Belt Atheist to say anything is a challenge. So, I love him dearly, but
beware. Once he gets going, though, it's hard to stop the guy.
And Neil, I appreciate you having me on, especially during the after party, considering that I don't think I'm that interesting of a person. I've had people say...
don't sell yourself short.
You haven't met me. I'm like the queen of dull.
But I love your voice. Your
Bullshit.
Voice is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When I was my sister and I both confessed to each other that our goals in life were to be as boring as possible. You know, like predictable.
We all are each our own unique individuals, people, and I think as a group, as a little atheistic community that we've sort of fallen into, really, I think we all get along fairly well for the most part. Yeah. I mean, obviously there's going to be heads clashing and differences of opinions from time to time. But like my friend Andrew always used to say, man, even if there were just 2 people left on the planet, there would still be conflict because the opinions differ from time to time. So,
yeah.
You know.
Well, I am very thankful to Johnny Drive-By and to Godless Iowan for dragging me into this community in the first place, and the rest of you guys for accepting me. I mean, geez, man.
I'm pretty accepting of everybody.
Oh, I like to do the... Yeah. Well, hey, we all have to share the planet, so let's be good to each other, right?
There you go.
Sounds reasonable.
All right. Thank you guys for coming in tonight. I will. I'll make some notes because there's a lot of us that have been in and out of this hangout, so I got to make some notes for my thank yous later. And Matthew, again, man, thanks for chatting with me earlier today. It was an absolute pleasure.
Well, and, thank you for having me on.
Faye?
Yes, dear.
Just let me know when you want me to jump in with you again, and I'll be there with bells on. Okay. Little tiny bells.
Would it be okay if I give you very little notice?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. As long as I'm available, I'll let you know right away if I'm available for sure.
Like about 4.5 minutes, right, Faye?
Right. Wow.
Also, just to make a little note here so you guys are aware of this.
Nobody I know does that short notice thing.
Hang on here. I gotta find it. On Wednesday, February 27th at about 4 p.m., I'll be talking with Purple Rhymes with Orange. So you guys should tune in for that. Yeah. That's this coming Wednesday. I still need somebody for the Monday. I don't have anyone to fill the Monday. Luckily, Matthew was able to fill today because Pikachu the Atheist had to bow out because he's in the hospital with the gallstone thing, and now they're saying he's got issues with his liver.
That guy. And I was going to say something in our chat in the beginning that I hope he gets better and all that. I feel for him having to bow out.
I'll be okay.
But
on Saturday, March 2nd, I'll be talking with Don Goodnight. And on March 4th, I'll be talking with none other than Essence of Thought. So I hope you guys can tune in for that as well.
I tune in.
If you're not familiar with Essence of Thought, you should check out his channel. It's fantastic. He's got some really great stuff on there. He's been around for quite some time. He's probably one of the older atheist YouTubers. So anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys on, Wednesday when I'm talking with Purple, because I have nothing for Monday. So if you guys do know anyone that does want to chat about their deconversion stories, let me know in DMs, and I can fit them in for Monday if they're available at around 4 p.m. Pacific. And until that time, guys, remember, like I always say at the end of this, it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.